Alrighty. Good morning, beautiful people. How is everyone doing? Let me know in the chat box if you can hear me loud and clear, so I can start this beautiful morning session. Yes, all right, thumbs up. Okay, amazing. Good. Let's get this thing started. I don't have a lot to cover from last week. We didn't have a lot of price traps. I think 4 price traps in total. So we will be going through that pretty quick. First of all, the first one we were looking at was Euro USD. If you're new here, first of all, and you're watching the recording, just make sure to watch as many recordings you can. You will see that sometimes I will go a little bit deeper into the price traps. Today I don't have the time for that, so I will be just diving in immediately. Okay, so Euro USD, what happened here? Market broke out, came back for the retest, and from that point on, you can start looking for price action. For me personally, the zone I was very interested in was right over here. We had a lot of imbalance sitting there. Together with the supply zone, what I basically wanted to do was following up that downtrending movement that we have seen here, but the market just didn't do it. All right, we did create some price action though. So if we watch the 1 hour time frame, we saw some rejection over there. The 30-minute time frame was also showing some engulfing candles slash evening stars. 15-minute time frame, exactly the same thing, evening star, engulfing candle. So basically everything was in place if you're watching candlestick patterns, and that's the only thing you're looking at. But if you add the 5-minute time frame to it, you will see that the market never really broke structure. So this can be an extra confirmation for you that you go on that 5-minute time frame and wait for the market to break these higher lows, and that's not what happened. Okay, so if you're watching it that way, you shouldn't enter. If you watch it pure on candlestick patterns, I'm pretty sure you entered this one, and this was basically just a stop loss. Okay, that's for Euro USD. If we go further, we have GN. We saw a very quick breakout retest in just one candle. I personally don't really like to react on that, but you will see it happens a lot of times that the market just goes back with one candle or two candles and then shoots in the direction we want to see. So the market broke out, came back for the retest. We saw a rejection on that 1 hour time frame. Let me reset this. There we go. 30-minute time frame didn't really show this something. Yeah, we rejected on this high here, so that's a good sign. 15-minute time frame. Let me check. Let me check. Also not the best candlestick patterns here. So for me personally, this was a no-go, especially if it's a fast retest like that. And on the 5 minutes, we broke that structure, but we never came back. The market just started shooting higher from that point without waiting or without turning back a little bit and giving us an entry opportunity. So that's also nothing here for GN. Entity Canadian, exactly the same thing. I was looking at, oh, I deleted something last week. I was looking at this zone, around that zone, to find myself in a potential reaction to the upside. But like you can see, the market really went lower and started attacking these lows. So that's the first sign for me to just stay away from it because the market is turning bearish from that point on. Okay, so where was Wednesday? Oh, we were around this area. Nope. Around this area. All right. So then we came back. Maybe you reacted on this first one here. Personally, I didn't really like that one because the market already tested the zone. I was really looking for the lower zones here. Okay. But the market went way too deep for me personally to really look for a reaction. Okay. So the Wednesday price traps, it was a little bit sad. It was a little bit boring, but we didn't really see something happening. Okay, you had maybe that opportunity on gold Thursday around midday with a beautiful push to the downside, also followed with beautiful candlestick formations. But maybe you were already reacting around this area, okay? And you were like, okay, market is going higher, market is breaking highs, so yeah, we are turning bullish. I 100% agree with that. Like I said, it wasn't really the most exciting week last week, but that's also the weeks we have to take care of. Good. So that's it for the price rush from last week. If we take a look at news, it's pretty simple. We don't have a lot of news coming in. We do have a lot of yellow flag news here. For tomorrow, we do have, or this night, coming night at 1:30 a.m., we have the AUD pairs employment change and unemployment rate. So that's a pretty important one. So if you have AUD pairs that you're running, please be aware of that and make sure you're not in a risky position the moment you go to sleep. For the people here in Europe, just know and be careful from that news event. Same thing for pounds, the GDP coming out at 8 a.m. and the CPI on USD. I'm not sure when this is going to come out because of still the US government shutdown. So we have some delays on numbers and so on and so forth. So yeah, we shall see how the market will react on that. Just be aware that we have that CPI coming, so that there is an opportunity, or there is a high chance that the market will do some crazy things in the afternoon tomorrow. Same thing for Friday, but then we have the PPI. And for next week, we have the CPI on Canadian and the CPI on pounds. Okay, and that's a little bit it. What I want to show you for the news. If you want to double check, because sometimes Forex Factory, I've seen the last couple of weeks, they just miss out on certain news events. So if you want to double check that, you can basically just use investing.com, or you can use TradingView. So if you go to these products here, you can put on your calendars with this little star, and it will come next to all the other stuff you're using. Okay, so if you click on this calendar, you will see that here you have also all the different news events coming or that are scheduled for the next upcoming days. But you gotta pay attention because excuse me, it depends also a little bit on what you put on there. And also same thing, if I'm not mistaken, you can also put the countries on there and so on and so forth, because not everything will be on there if you're only looking at the G20. Okay, so that's also an important one, that you pay attention on what you're looking for. Let me first get some water here. Good, good, good. All right, so let's check what kind of price traps we have for today. Like I said, I don't have a lot of time today, so maybe you will notice it that I'm going a little quick. But I just want to come on here, like you guys know, to give you some price traps that you can work with for the upcoming week. Even if you're not following live or watching the recording, so you have some stuff to educate yourself about. Because remember, I'm always here to just give you education. I'm not here to say to or to give you any financial advice. Nope, that's not what I'm doing here. That's not my point. My point is to show you how you can basically find yourself opportunities in the charts by using a simple strategy, by using simple structure. Okay, so 80 USD, love it. 80 JPY, also love it. Beautiful structure there that we can work with. Canadian JPY, same thing. We can maybe wait for some retests there, follow up that strong move to the upside. There we go. So that's this. The third one. Let's see what we have more. I've seen some interesting charts, so that's good. We have more than last week. That's already a start because last week was just it was just messy. Oh, this was good. Like yesterday we had this one breakout retest. Boom, beautiful. Boom, 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 boom. Maybe Euro USD, yeah. Mm. Can we follow up on this last push to the upside? We gotta pay attention because we are getting in a dangerous zone here. This could be the 4 hour supply zones that are reacting to the downside because we have that downtrending market happening for the last couple of days slash weeks. Let me leave it alone because of that. GCAT, beautiful breakout retest yesterday. GJ, we can use that. There we go. GN missed out on it. That was a beautiful breakout retest to fill up the gap. For GU, yeah, maybe. Good structure. Easy high, easy low. If you've never seen my sessions before, we know that that's the point I focus on. The highs and lows, the most recent highs and lows. Of course, we are always watching the past also. How does the market react? I don't have to go far. You see how the market reacts on these zones. That's good. Mm-hmm. Hence the JPY, also an idea from yesterday. Breakout retest, going in direction. That's also a good one here. Pretty simple. There we go. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. I'm always here to answer them. It's not because I don't have time or not a lot of time today that I cannot answer questions while I'm trapping the markets. There we go. Gold has a beautiful price trap here. This is going to be interesting for both directions. Doesn't really matter which direction we go. That's the beauty about my strategy. We are not really looking at a certain direction. We simply look where the market shows us where the potential can be. So if we break to the downside, we know that there's a high potential the market will follow that breakout and go to the downside. Just watch my recordings, you will see it a lot of times. Look how the market reacts on these zones. It's also very strong. There's a very high chance we will retest to the downside to fill up the massive gap after this massive push here. But same thing to the upside, to be honest. A lot of equal highs here, so gotta pay attention. And I think that will be it. That's already better than last week. Last week we only had 4 price reps. So 80 JPY, we broke out. So now we are waiting for that retest to come back. This little black candle in between the blue move, let me say it like that, and in between the massive move to the upside, this is an interesting zone to watch. Okay, I will put it on there for next week. Just so you know, I always leave everything on my charts. This is a separate layout, so I have different layouts. I have a backtesting layout, blue and black. This is basically where I work with the community on. The gray is my personal layout, and then I have public layout. I don't touch this. I only touch this on Wednesday and Thursday morning for the community just to give a review, but I leave everything in place. ADUSD is looking good. Canadian JPY also looking for that retest. Pay attention, this little pause here. So we see the push to the upside. You see the market pausing for a second. You see that? Or not a second. This is basically 3 hours. If you go to the lower time frame, it's more clear. Watch this zone. This is also a very, very clean zone where the market could potentially react on. Okay. I will go through the rest just one more time so I don't miss out on anything. So can we read this one? Yeah, Euro USD, I'm not convinced. I showed you why. GJ in the zone, so waiting for the breakout. GU, same thing, waiting for the breakout. This JPY was from yesterday. UCAT waiting for the breakout. Let me put this one also on, just for looking, maybe find ourselves a good retest here of the broken highs. You see how the market reacts on that zone in the past? You don't see me doing it this a lot, but I'm doing it. If you could follow, like, if you could see my eyes on the screen, that would be a nice feature, right? If you could see like, what am I looking at? But that's basically what I'm looking at. Is if I'm price trapping, if I'm finding my highs and lows, I'm not just looking at this, you know? What I'm looking at is what's happening here. What's happening here. This gives me extra confirmation of these zones. Are these strong zones to use? Yes or no? Okay. Golds. Same thing on gold. Look at that. Market reacts beautifully on these zones again and again. So this gives me a confirmation we have strong support and resistance zones that we can look for. Okay. I see 2 links coming in. I love it. Let's check. Euro NZD. Yeah. GU. Oof, beautiful one. I think I gave GU yesterday exactly the same way. No, didn't I? No, I didn't. I didn't. Beautiful, beautiful ID, by the way. Market breaks out, comes back for the retest, respects previous highs. Price action 1 hour was a little risky there, but I'm sure these lower time frames. Oh yeah, look at that. Oof, beautiful. 50-minute. Oof, amazing. Not the best, but it's only the 1 hour that is like messing around, let me say like that. Like the 1 hour creating a massive rejection. Here we see the breakout and the retest even on the 5-minute time frame. So yeah, in my opinion, this was a clean price trap. Congratulations, bro. And about Euro NZD, where was it? Here, right over here. So first of all, let me say what am I looking for? I usually just zoom out and look where is the market going. So I know the risk that I'm taking. If the market breaks against where the market is going for the last couple of days slash weeks, I know there's a higher risk than I just follow where the market is going. So like you can see on Euro NZD, the market is going up. So if we have a break to the downside, we know that the risk is a little higher. I'm not saying you cannot react on it. I'm just saying be aware of the risk. Okay. What we have seen here, it was a good price trap. We have the highs, we have the lows. If you would just draw this out, high, low, and you take a look like how did the market react in the past? Like you can see, market reacts on the highs, market reacts on the lows. Here again, if you even go further back, I'm pretty sure market will be reacting pretty good also. Oof, it's a long time ago. Not sure if I will get there. Okay, doesn't matter. But we saw that breakout. And the moment we saw that breakout, we had some good price action, like the 1 hour rejection, 1 hour engulfing candle, 30-minute time frame. Yeah, engulfing candle is here a little late. 50-minute, let me check. Okay, 50 minutes, beautiful evening star. So I do understand why you reacted on that idea, but just know that you were going against the trend. And plus, the market was really like respecting this demand zone here, you know? So that was, I'm pretty sure you know that, or you knew it when you reacted like, okay, it's good. We have a breakout, we have the price action, but I'm going against the trend and the market is reacting on demands. So you know the risk the moment you do you risk less if you trade against the trend? Nay. No, nee. That was a Dutch word slipping in. But no, I don't reduce my risk. Um, I don't reduce my risk, but I do change my take profits because if I go against the trend, I just go for one take profit. If I go with the trend, I usually twin trade. I have a take profit of 1 on 3, and my second trade, I just leave it running. So, for example, last week, it wasn't the best entry, of course, because we didn't have a lot of price action, but we saw that the market was climbing up for the last couple of days. So we know, okay, we are following trending direction. If you if we had a good price action here, and we could react on this. Last week we just hadn't anything. But if you could react over here, you could go like, all right, we have a twin rate of running around 300 pips, and usually my take profit one is around 75 to 30 pips, something like that. So this gives you a massive run. Yeah, I personally just do 50-50. That's what I'm doing. But I'm just aware, like I'm not gonna shoot myself in the head like, this was a bad trade, blah blah blah. No, I just know like, okay, it was against trend. I know there was some risk there, and I'm not gonna eat myself up because of these things, you know? That's what I mean with it. Because a lot of people sometimes they just overanalyze their trades. They want to feedback themselves, or they want to review themselves, but they are overanalyzing because they want to find the mistake, but sometimes the market just decides to go in the other direction. The market always does whatever the market wants to do. Always remember yourself that you will never risk too much if you're with a mindset like that. Like the market can do whatever the market wants to do, and that's exactly what happened here. Okay. Well, you have different options. The first option is you can just watch to the left. So, for example, go to the left and watch some price action zone. So we are now at Euro NZD. Let me get back to that GN. So imagine this was your entry. Take profit was around here, 1 on 3 risk to reward. And then you can start watching the left. You can say, all right, I'm gonna react on the next highs. This is too close to take profit one, so I never do this. Next one, and then we have the next one. All right. So like you can see, you could say, okay, I'm going to take out a little bit here. I'm going to take out a little bit here. What you also can do is simply just wait for price action. You can just wait for the market to create new lows, okay? Go to the 15-minute time frame, or just on a 1 hour is also fine. And here you see market just takes off, creates a little candle here. So my stop loss will already be placed higher right over here. Then you can move it right over here. And every time the market makes these higher lows, you just move it with it. Move, move, move. You see, the moment this last higher low was created, you would be kicked out. Okay. Okay, you missed out a small run here, but that's not a big deal. That's two options you can use. I personally like the last one. Just move your stop loss with your idea, with your reaction. You too, bro. See you next week. Enjoy the profits or the price traps. I know you're killing it. Alrighty, good. So these are the price traps. I went over them. Right now, I'm gonna give you guys a quick review of crypto. Because of course we are in a very interesting period when it comes down to crypto. Like I said last week, that daily time frame is showing us some bearish price action. On the weekly time frame, we reacted pretty good. We just didn't took out the lows, which makes me think we will go lower. Okay, the weekly is still looking pretty bullish in my opinion. We can sweep this low over here, but I don't want to see the market breaking it. The market's on the weekly, I want to see rejections. I want to see the market like rejecting this level, not breaking that level. Because if we really break that level, we are in a dangerous zone. this could be a sign that the market could start turning around and yeah, maybe start the bear market after this insane run. Personally, what I think we will see is something, a sweep like this, and then like more like consolidating back to the upside to then maybe start the bear. It depends. This is just crystal ball technology. This is just like trying to yeah, know what's gonna happen in the future. But like you guys know, I personally don't like that. I personally just always think about, okay, what's the market doing right now? So I gave you guys these zones last week, and we are pretty much respecting that. Okay, so we are respecting the supplies, which makes me think that the market could definitely go a little lower, sweep out this liquidity, and maybe start running higher again. Okay, the dominance still at the same position. I still believe we can maybe get back in that zone to then start the next drop, and then we will see the altcoins running like crazy. So Ethereum already did what I wanted to see, so I don't expect Ethereum much lower than this. But like I drew this zone over here, we gotta pay attention there, okay? Because market is at supply, it is reacting, but we will have to follow this up day by day. You can go lower time frames and watch how the market is maybe respecting. Let me put an orange zone on this. We could possibly respect that demand zone right over here to then start that uptrending chart again to the upside. But this is now, at this point, it's too early to say that we will go up again. In my opinion, we have to follow what price is showing us, and price is showing us downward movements. Okay. Then Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Solana Bitcoin is also a chart I always review. And like you can see, we are in the zone that I expected to see where the market would go. I'm already talking about this zone when the market started trading lower after this massive run. So yeah, it's a long time I'm talking about that zone, and now we are back in that. So in my opinion, this is a great opportunity to maybe switch. Like I said, this is not, I'm not saying you have to do this. You have to switch, but it's an opportunity to switch your Bitcoin into Ethereum, see the run up, and then switch back to Bitcoin, and so on and so forth. That's a little strategy that you can apply in this chart. For Solana, it has to follow up. It has to hold this level. If it doesn't hold this level, I see the market going lower, maybe back to zones like this, just below the lows, just a sweep. That's perfectly possible, but we shall see. Okay, this is the weekly time frame. Of course, this goes pretty slow. All right, I think we are ready. Like I said, pretty fast session. I don't have too much time today. That's why I went through pretty quick. At this moment, we are not looking at any pairs, just waiting for proper retests like USD JPY. We can go a little lower here. Canadian JPY, of course, waiting for that retest, and AD JPY waiting for that retest. The rest is waiting for the breakout. Okay, so that's it. I want to wish you all a beautiful day. We see each other, of course, next week, Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. again, to review all the price traps we have from today. And of course, for the people in Belgium, we see each other tonight. If you're not part of our community yet, and you are from Belgium, you are watching the recording. I know the people right now on the call are all there tonight. We have a massive event going on every Wednesday, by the way. But right now we do have a special guest speaker who is going to share his experience from the last couple of years. He has a lot of experience and made a lot of success in this industry. So yeah, if you're interested in meeting us, if you're interested in getting an insane training, I would really recommend you to just reach out to me, and I will make sure you will have your spot. Spots are limited, so make sure you're fast the moment you see this recording, that you send me as soon as you can. All right. So I'm gonna close off with this. I wish you all a beautiful day, and we see each other tonight for the people on the call, and for the people who are watching the recording. And just following my sessions, which is fine. We see each other next week. All right. See you very soon. Ciao, ciao.